Welcome back, everybody. It's your boy THL. We back with another one. It's UFC 299 this Saturday, March 9th, and boy, do we got a stat card. No further ado, let's get right into it. All right, I'm gonna be starting things off in the early prelims with the first fight we're talking about, women's flyweight division, Joanne Wood versus Marina Moroz. A little bit more about Joanne Wood. Joanne Wood has a 16-8 professional record. Joanne Wood will get her crack at the UFC on December 12, 2014, where she was one half of the Ultimate Fighter finale. She will go on and win this bout via unanimous decision. Her next bout, ironically, will be a loss to Marina Moroz, the woman she'll be sharing the octagon with this Saturday. She will lose this bout via submission. From here, Joanne Wood will go 7-7 in her last 14, with her last fight to date coming in a split decision victory. A little bit more about her opponent, Marina Moroz. Marina Moroz has a 11-5 professional record. Marina Moroz will start her UFC career on April 11th, 2015, with a submission victory over her current opponent, Joanne Wood. She too will suffer a loss in her next bout. Moroz will lose to Valerie Lertenau via unanimous decision. Marina Moroz will go 5-4 in her next 9 bouts, with her latest fight coming in a submission loss to Karine Silva. Alright, the next fight I'm going to be talking about takes place in the men's flyweight division. CJ Vergara versus Azul Amabayev. A little bit more about CJ Vergara. CJ Vergara has a 12-4-1 professional record. CJ Vergara will start his UFC career on September 7th, 2021 on Dana White's Contender Series. He would win by KO TKO versus Bruno Correa. Vergara will suffer defeat in his next bout to Ode Osborne via unanimous decision. CJ Vergara will go on an impressive run after this, putting together a 3-1 record in his last 4 bouts. A little more about his opponent, Azul Amabayev. Azul Amabayev has a 18-2 professional record. Amabayev has only one fight inside the UFC octagon. He would have a submission victory over Ode Osborne. Azul Amabayev has an impressive win streak going on right now. He is unbeaten in his last 14 bouts, starting back on September 9, 2017. The next fight we're talking about takes place in the heavyweight division. Robles Desplain versus Josh Parisian. A little bit more about Robles Desplain. Robles Desplain has a 4-0 professional record. Robles has yet to fight inside the UFC octagon, but he has fought in other impressive fighting organizations like Fury FC and Titan FC. All 4 of Robles' victories have come by way of KO, TKO. A little more about his opponent, Josh Parisian. Josh Parisian has a 15-7 professional record. Josh Parisian will start his UFC career on August 18, 2020 on Dana White's Contender Series. He will get a KO, TKO victory over Chad Johnson. Parisian won't be able to ride this momentum. He will lose his next bout to Parker Porter via unanimous decision. Josh Parisian will go 2-3 in his next 5, with the latest fight coming in a submission loss to Martin Uday. Alright, the next fight we're talking about takes place in the middleweight division. Michel Pereira versus Mikhail Oleshchuk. A little bit more about Michel Pereira. Michel Pereira has a 29-11 professional record. Michel Pereira would start his UFC career on May 18, 2019 with a KO TKO victory over Danny Roberts. Pereira's hot start will come to a quick halt because he will lose his next two bouts. He will lose to Tristan Connolly and Diego Sanchez. Pereira will figure things out and go undefeated in his last six bouts, with his latest victory coming by way of KO TKO against Andre Petroski. All right, a little bit more about his opponent, Mikhail Oleshchuk. Mikhail Oleshchuk has a 19-6 professional record. Mikhail Ole would start his UFC career on December 30th, 2017. He would fight Khalil Roundtree Jr. This fight would result in a no contest. He would go on and win his next two bouts by KO TKO. Ironically, Mikhail will lose his next two bouts by submission. Mikhail will go 5-2 in his last seven, with his latest bout by way of KO TKO win versus Chidi Njokwani. The next fight I'm going to be talking about takes place in the light heavyweight division. Ion Cutelaba versus Felipe Lims. A little bit more about Ion Cutelaba. Ion Cutelaba has a 17-9-1 professional record. Ion Cutelaba would not have the start to his UFC career that he would have liked. He would suffer a submission loss to Misha Cirkunov. Ion Cutelaba will be able to avenge this loss on his next bout with a unanimous decision win. Cutelaba has found it difficult to find a rhythm inside the octagon. He will go 5-7 in his last 12. A little more about his opponent, Felipe Lins. Felipe Lins has a 17-5 professional record. Felipe Lins would have a slow start to his UFC career. He would drop his first two UFC bouts to Andre Arlovski and Tanner Boser. Felipe Lins would be able to figure things out and win his last three bouts inside the UFC octagon. The next fight I'm going to be talking about takes place in the bantamweight division, Pedro Munoz versus Kyler Phillips. A little bit more about Pedro Munoz. Pedro Munoz has a 20-8 professional record. Pedro will start his UFC career back in February 22nd, 2014 with a unanimous decision loss to Rafael Asensio. Pedro would bounce back from this setback and secure his first UFC win against Matt Hobart. Pedro Munoz has had an outstanding 18 fights inside the UFC octagon, with notable wins against Cody Garbrandt and Rob Font. A little more about his opponent, Kyler Phillips. Kyler Phillips has a 11-2 professional record. Kyler Phillips will start his UFC career on August 1st, 2017 on Dana White's Contender Series. He would win by KO TKO. Kyler would get kicked out of the UFC despite his victory. Kyler Phillips would work his way back into the UFC. Kyler would produce an impressive 5-1 in his 6 bouts since being reinstated. So the next fight I'm going to be talking about takes place in the lightweight division, Mateus Gamrot versus Rafael Dos Santos. A little bit more about Mateus. Mateus Gamrot has a 23-2 professional record. Mateus Gamrot would not have the start to his UFC career that he would have liked, losing to Goram Kutateladise. Mateus would bounce back from this and win his next 4 bouts. Mateus would taste defeat again to Beneil Dariush. Just like before, Gamrot would get things back on track and win his last 2 bouts inside the octagon. A little more about his opponent, Rafael dos Santos. Rafael dos Santos has a 32-15 professional record. Rafael dos Santos' UFC journey will begin back on November 15, 2008 with a KO TKO loss to Jeremy Stephens. He will also lose his next bout. Rafael will be able to figure things out and put together an impressive 12-3 record to earn a UFC title fight. He will beat Anthony Pettis on March 14, 2015 to become the undisputed lightweight champion. RDA will go 8-8 since then. The next fight I'm going to be talking about takes place in the women's flyweight division, Katlyn Chookagian versus Maycee Barber. A little bit more about Katlyn Chookagian. Katlyn Chookagian has a 18-5 professional record. Katlyn Chookagian will get a unanimous decision win over Lauren Murphy to start her UFC career. She would suffer defeat in her next bout to Liz Carmouche. Katlyn will put together a 5-1 record to earn herself a UFC title shot. She would lose to Valentina Shevchenko. After this, Katlyn will string together a 5-2 record in her latest 7. Now a little more about her opponent, Maycee Barber. Maycee Barber has a 13-2 professional record. Maycee Barber will start her UFC career on Dana White's Contender Series with a KO TKO win over Jamie Colleen Miller. Maycee would go on and win her next 3, giving her a 4-0 start to her UFC career. Maycee Barber would taste defeat for the first time inside the UFC octagon to Roxanne Modafferi. She would suffer a consecutive loss to Alexa Grasso. That will be Maycee's last loss to date. She will go on and win her next 5 bouts.
I have a surprise for everyone. I have teamed up with Andar. We have made a special edition Apollo wallet. We have 2 different colors, but there's more. Inside the wallet, bam, is my engraved signature. Andar and I made 299 of these because my fight in Miami on March 9th is UFC 299. Get your wallet engraved with my signature and come see me in Miami.
The next fight I'm going to be talking about takes place in the heavyweight division. Curtis Blades versus Jailton Almeida. A little bit more about Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades has a 17-4 professional record. Curtis Blades would have a tough introduction into the UFC with a fight against Francis Ngannou. He will lose this fight by doctor stoppage. Curtis Blades will bounce back from this loss and win his next 5 fights. He will taste defeat again to the same fighter, Francis Ngannou, via KO TKO. Curtis Blades will go 7-2 in his last 9 UFC bouts. A little more about his opponent, Jailton Almeida. Jailton Almeida has a 20-2 professional record. Jailton will start his UFC career on September 14, 2021 on Dana White's Contender Series. Jailton will beat Nasruddin Nasruddinov by submission. Jailton has fought 7 times inside the UFC octagon and he has won all 7. Okay, making our way to the main card. The first fight we're talking about on the main card takes place in the bantamweight division. Petr Yan versus Song Yadong. A little bit more about Petr Yan. Petr Yan has a 16-5 professional record. Piran would secure a KO TKO victory in his first UFC bout versus Teruto Ishihara. Piran would go on and win his next 5, starting his UFC career 6-0. This would earn Peter a title fight. Peter will beat Jose Aldo and become the undisputed bantamweight champion. Piran would lose his belt in a controversial way to Aljamain Sterling. Since this loss, Piran has been on the wrong side of the Georgia scorecards. A little more about his opponent, Song Yadong. Song Yadong has a 21-7-1 professional record. Song Yadong will start his UFC career 4-0. He would have a draw in his 5th bout to Cody Stamann. Song Yadong will suffer his first loss in the UFC octagon in his 7th bout versus Kyler Phillips. Yadong will go 5-1 in his latest 6 bouts. Alright, so the next fight I'm going to be talking about takes place in the welterweight division. Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena. A little bit more about Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns has a 22-6 professional record. Gilbert Burns will start his UFC career with 3 straight wins. Gilbert will suffer his first defeat inside the octagon to Rashid Magomedov via unanimous decision. Gilbert Burns, after this loss, will go 11-5 in his last 16 UFC bouts. A little more about his opponent, Jack Della Maddalena. Jack Della Maddalena has a 16-2 professional record. Jack would begin his UFC career on September 14th, 2021 on Dana White's Contender Series. He will beat Ang Luisa. Jack will go on and win his next 6 UFC bouts. Jack has a 7-0 UFC record. He has yet to taste defeat inside the UFC octagon. The next fight I'm talking about takes place in the welterweight division. Kevin Holland versus Michael Page. A little bit more about Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland has a 25-10 professional record. Kevin Holland would start his UFC career 9-2 with wins over notable opponents like Jacare Souza. Kevin would eventually slow down and go 4-5 in his next 9 UFC bouts.
Guys, it's your boy Kevin Trailblazer Holland, aka Big Mouth. Now, I'm going out to UFC 299 this weekend to catch me a venomous snake. And I've been living in Texas this long. If you think your boy can't catch a snake, you must be out your mind. Now, Prediction Strike is just like a stock market for sports. So, make sure you go over to Prediction Strike before UFC 299 and invest in your boy. I'm currently at about 625. If you wait too long, that thing might go up to 650. And I hate to tax you and charge you a little bit more than what you need to be charged. Yeah! Sorry about that, buddy.
A little bit more about his opponent, Michael Venom Page. Michael Venom Page will debut inside the UFC octagon this Saturday, March 9th for the first time. Now, this is one of the most anticipated UFC debuts in UFC history. Michael has a 21-2 professional record. Page has a very decorated MMA background. He would fight for the Bellator belt back on May 13th, 2022. He will lose to Logan Storley via split decision. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening in the lightweight division, Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint-Denis. And just first off, just let me say, guys, this fight right here is going to be very violent. But a little bit more about Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier has a 29-8 professional record. Dustin Poirier has fought the best of the best inside the UFC octagon. Dustin has notable wins against the likes of Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker, Conor McGregor, and Michael Chandler. A little more about his opponent, Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis has a 13-1 professional record. Benoit will not have the start to his UFC career that he would have liked. He will lose to Elisa Zielinski dos Santos. Benoit Saint-Denis would bounce back from this loss and win his next 5 matches inside the UFC octagon. His latest bout with a beautiful head kick knockout of Matt Favola. Now we're talking about the main event of the evening, a title fight in the bantamweight division. Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera. A little bit about Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley has a 17-1 professional record. Sean O'Malley will get his chance inside the UFC octagon on July 18, 2017 versus Alfred Kashkayan Kim. Sean would win by knockout. O'Malley would win his first 5 fights inside the UFC octagon. His first and only loss, ironically, will come to the hands of the man he will be sharing the octagon with this Saturday, Marlon Vera. O'Malley would bounce back and work himself into a title shot where he would beat Aljamain Sterling by TKO.
Boys, UFC 298 official prediction right now. Breakdown: Ilya versus Volk. I think they're gonna come into the center of the octagon, both in the orthodox stance. I think Ilya's gonna have a nice stance like this. I think Volk's gonna be throwing leg kicks. Ilya's gonna be backing up, kind of like getting his feet out of the way, or he's gonna be checking, or he's gonna just eat it and throw a right hand like this. Boom! Ilya, KO.
A little bit more about his opponent, Marlon Vera. Marlon Vera has a 23-8-1 professional record. Marlon Vera would start his UFC career 1-2. He would bounce back and win 3 straight. Marlon Vera has gone through his ups and downs inside the UFC octagon. He will put together an impressive run, winning 5 and 1 in his last 6 to earn him a title shot this Saturday, March 9th. Alright, that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like if you guys left a like and hit that subscribe button. Until next time.